Welcome to John Essex Sports Channel again, where you get everything League One, Championship and even running. And today, as you can see, I have to be a little bit quick. I'm in a completely different location. But last week was really, really good. I got 8 correct results. I got 3 scores spot on. So without further ado, let's just review what we got correct and wrong last week. Burton Stevenage, I said it was going to be 2-2. And it was 0-0, so that I got the correct result. Stockport versus Bristol Rovers, I said 2-0 to Stockport, and indeed it was. Barnsley Northampton, I said 3-1 to Barnsley, and it was 2-2. I've got the right number of goals. Cambridge versus Blackpool, I said 1-0 to Blackpool, and it was 4-4. So Cambridge are really firing well, aren't they? I was impressed. I said that they were doing really well. And a lot of people were saying that they were going to score. So I should have heeded them. Charlton versus Bolton, I said 1-0 to Charlton, and it was 2-0 to Charlton. So that's a good result. Exeter Peterborough, I said 3-0 to Peterborough, and it was 2-1 to Peterborough. So another correct result. Huddersfield Shrewsbury, I said 4-0 to Huddersfield, and it was 1-0 to Huddersfield, so not quite as convincing as I thought. Then we got Orient versus Birmingham, and I said 4-0 to Birmingham, and again not quite as conclusive as we thought there. Again, they've let a goal in Birmingham, and it was 2-1 to Birmingham. Mansfield away at Lincoln, I said it was going to be a Lincoln 1, Mansfield 3. And I'd actually put 1 in there. I'd started with 0. But surprisingly enough, it was actually Lincoln 4, Mansfield 1. So completely the opposite way round. Wigan versus Crawley, I said 1-0 to Wigan, and it was 1-0 to Wigan. So that was good. Wrexham versus Reading, I said 2-1 to Reading. It was 3-0 to Wrexham. And of course, Wycombe versus my side, Rotherham United, I said it was going to be a 2-0 defeat for the Millers. Indeed, it was a 2-0 defeat, and that's my third correct score and result. So let's go into the new week 4. I do apologise for the cough. Remember, I did have meningitis when I was 40, and it shot my lungs. So I do apologise. It's as annoying for me as it is for you. But do stay with me, do like and subscribe. You get lots more of this and an awful lot more watch-along coverage, which I will try and do tomorrow, but I'm not in the right best of locations to do it. But we will have a go. Blackpool versus Wycombe. Not many people are looking for many goals here. I've seen 1-1s, I've seen 1-0s in both directions. I'm going to go for Blackpool 1, Wycombe 0. That's very surprising. They played pretty awful against Rotherham and managed to beat them 2-0. But, you know, Blackpool, new manager bounce shall we get? I'm going to go 1-0 to Blackpool. My side, Rotherham United at home to Huddersfield. Obviously, Rotherham not won yet, and Huddersfield, well, they keep bouncing and doing really well and scoring well, and they've had a couple of little bits of a blips. I mean, what did they do? They did quite well, didn't they, last week? 4-0 against the Shrews, but the week before, it's probably the second week that they didn't quite fire as well as I thought. First week 2-0 against Peterborough. That was quite a good one. So I think I'm gonna go with Huddersfield. I have to, because I can't see Rotherham scoring. They lost against Fleetwood in midweek, and it was a pretty poor performance by Fleetwood, and it was even a worse one by Rotherham. I'm gonna go for Rotherham United 0, Huddersfield 4. Birmingham Wigan. Birmingham no clean sheets so far. And I don't think they will. I think they've got this league a little bit too cocky in this league, but they will win it. But I absolutely believe they will win it. Who's going to beat them? God only knows. But I think they'll have a few draws along the way. I think they may lose 1 or 2, but I can't really see it happening just yet. Put simply, I think it's going to be Birmingham 3, Wigan 1. Bolton versus Exeter now, and I'm sort of following the rule of thumb with all the Birmingham and Wigan games, like 2-0s and 3-0s. Do I follow the Bolton Exeter rule of thumb with you lot? And you lot are sort of telling me Bolton are going to win this easily, but don't be surprised if Exeter score. So 1 or 2 or perhaps 3 goals for Bolton, none or 1 for Exeter. You know, Bolton haven't been really proving to me that they can really take it. And the fans really are behind their club, but I'm just a little bit. I mean, Charlton 1-0. To me, that should have been. I thought it was nearly a draw. It's a difficult one for me. Difficult one. I'm going to go Bolton. I'm going to go Bolton 1, Exeter 0. Bristol Rovers versus Cambridge now, and Bristol Rovers versus Cambridge is. We've got a lot of difference in views here. They started quite well and managed to get a draw against Rotherham at a point when people were thinking Rotherham were going to actually play well, and they weren't. So I'm puzzled away. I don't know whether to give them 1 or 2 goals. I think they will score at home against the Cambridge side that have been playing quite well actually, and I'm tempted to go with 1 or 2 of you that say 2-1 to Bristol Rovers. But I think Bristol Rovers are just ticking a little bit too much for my liking over Cambridge. And I'm going to go Bristol Rovers 2 and Cambridge 0. Crawley versus Barnsley next. And what are Barnsley doing? For heaven's sake, they're continuing from last year where they go up and then they're 1 or 2 goals up, or even 3 goals up, I think, from last year. And they draw. And you think, what? And they've also done it the opposite way around, where they've been behind 2 or 3 and they've drawn. And they either lose it in the beginning or they lose it at the end. And I'm really puzzled as to how they can get out of this, because they need to the mentality needs to change. And they seem to have done the same as Rotherham, and the mentality has just followed on from last year. Crawley have been playing really well, and I've seen a few of you say, "Well, 2 or 3 goals for Crawley." I can see them scoring here. You know, they've certainly got a good front line. What was Crawley's score? Crawley last week. It was 1-0 away to Wigan, and Wigan are damn good, and they are playing really well. So I'm going to go with Crawley 1, Barnsley 1. My Barnsley friend, is it Jake? I'm sorry, I just can't see. You need to get out of this rut of just. I can see Barnsley being in the lead until the last 20 minutes, and then just losing it in the last 20 minutes again. I just can't see it changing yet. I hope it does. I hope I'm totally wrong, but for me, I can't see it. Mansfield versus Stockport next, and I'm going to go against everybody. I'm going to go against everybody because I've seen Stockport. Stockport are firing on all fours. They're going to score, aren't they? They're just they've just got. They're amazing. Everybody. This mid-table team won against Bristol Rovers, but they only won 2-0 though. So I'm sort of thinking, perhaps people are looking at them and thinking. Putting them up on a pedestal a little bit here, and yeah, they are playing well, but they're playing good mid-table of League One soccer, and I'm not sure that football, guys, and I'll be speaking to Americans, sorry, and I just think that Mansfield for me might nick it. I've seen people quote 4-1 to Stockport, 3-1 to Stockport, 3-0 to Stockport. I'm going to go Mansfield 2, Stockport 1, and totally and utterly go against all fans and all these pundits. Northampton Burton next, and Burton and Northampton need to do something here. They need to turn this season around, because I don't think either of them have played. Northampton played a little bit better right at the beginning, but I just don't think that that they really managed to fire at all since then, and it's sad, because I thought that Northampton. Everybody was writing them off, and I remember looking and thinking, I'm trying to find them. They only lost 1-0 to Bristol Rovers, and I'm thinking, they're actually playing rather well. And everybody's writing them off, and I'm thinking, do you write them off? Because Burton are sort of, I think they scored against Lincoln. They threat 3, Burton 2, Lincoln 3, and you're thinking, well, they can score. So to me, I can see why people are saying both teams are going to score here, 1-1, 2-1 either way. And again, I'm going to go against everybody. I'm going to say not both of them are going to score. And I'm going to go Northampton 1, Burton 0. And then got Peterborough, Wrexham. Now Wrexham are firing, aren't they? I'm certain they'll score. But Peterborough need to push this dominancy, because they can do, and they can play top 2, 3, 4 football. I like the fact that they've tried to change style by getting rid of all the really good players they got, because they didn't fit in their new style. I've seen 2-1 and 3-1 to Peterborough. I've seen 2-1, 1-1s, 2-1 the other way. I'm going to go strange here. I'm going to go Peterborough 3, Wrexham 2, but it could be either way round, that one, I think. But I think that might be a very high-scoring game. From how Wrexham have been letting goals in and scoring, I think 3-2 either way would be very good, but I think it's 3-2 Peterborough. Reading, Charlton next, and both of these need to get going, I think, and Reading have been. I mean, that first game was great, wasn't it? What a great draw that was. But Charlton now have the bit between their teeth, and I think we're not going to see that stop any time soon. 1-0 against Bolton, and Bolton are actually really good even now. So I'm going to say Reading 1, Charlton 3. Shrewsbury versus Leyton Orient, and I've seen 0-0s all across the board. I've seen 1-0s in sort of either direction, but mostly towards Leyton Orient. I'm going to agree with most of you, and most of you seem to be saying Shrewsbury 0, Leyton Orient 0. Last of all, we've got Stevenage versus Lincoln, and most people are leaning towards the Lincoln. I mean, what did they actually played really well last week, didn't they? And they lost. I mean, they won 4-1. Against Mansfield, and I actually thought they'd lose 3-0, 3-1. And they came out with a performance and a half. And the Mansfield have got a damn good front line, so they did extremely well there. I'm really impressed by them last week, but I'm not. 3-2 against. It's sort of one of those things. 3-2 against Burton. I just can't see Lincoln not scoring 2 or 3. I think they've got the tail between their legs, and they're really, really going for it. And the fans are really. They were really raving for this season before it even started. I saw some of your comments. Some of my subscriber comments have been amazing, and we're going to be up in the top. One of you kept saying we're going to be second, possibly even first. Great if you've got that much confidence. We certainly haven't. Great. It's nice to have. It's nice to be able to be a fan with confidence. Absolutely is. Stevenage, I'm going to say Stevenage 1, Lincoln City 3. So that's my scores for today, and I really have to cut it a little bit short, guys. I am sorry, but I am away from home at the minute. I hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you again for either a watch along or for one of my next videos. Thank you very much. Remember, like and subscribe.